Hey everyone, it's Jill the Wandering Stamper. Today I decided to show you a video of the very popular right now Joy Fold card. I was looking at some of my designer series paper that I had that's retired, that I've been holding on to, haven't quite been sure what I'm going to use it for, and this fold ended up being the perfect card to use that paper for. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to make. It's a great go-to card fold, and you can use your designer series paper to really make it a beautiful card. So let's turn the camera down and get started. Thanks for joining me. So here we have some of the products we're going to use today to make this card. We're going to use our Misty Moonlight stamp pad. I've got some Night of Navy ribbon that actually looks really good with this color combo. I'm using some fancy Flora paper that has been retired, but it's so pretty, so I wanted to make a card with this, so we're using that. And the Misty Moonlight, although it's not one of the colors listed on here because it's a new color, it happens to go really well with this paper, so I'm going to use it. And of course Misty Moonlight and some basic white cardstock. So this card's fairly simple, but you can use it so well with your designer series paper and really make any kind of card you want. So it's pretty simple. We'll get started. First you want to grab your paper trimmer, and we are going to cut our card base 7 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm doing that in the Misty Moonlight, and I'm gonna see if this is cut already. I think it is, but we'll just double check. No, it is not. Okay, so I'm going to cut it. So 7 1/4 by 5 1/2 is our base, and then once you have your base cut, you're going to score it at 3 inches. All right, and then it's just going to get folded like that. I'm going to grab my bone folder and go ahead and give it a nice little crease and set that aside. And then you're also going to need a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece of the same color. So I'm going to use this. So you really only use 3/4 of a sheet of paper. So you can make 2 cards with 2 1/2 sheets of paper, which is pretty nice. Some cards use a lot of paper. So 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then we're going to score it at 1 inch, just on one end. All right, do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and give it a nice crease. All right, so those are our base pieces. Then we're going to grab Whisper White or Very Vanilla, depending on the color of designer series paper you're using. So we need a 4 by 5 1/4 piece, and this is where our message is going to go. So this is just a scrap I pulled. So 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to layer nicely right on the inside like that. So that's it for that. And now we're going to grab our designer series papers. And I pulled out this pattern because I think it's super pretty and I can stamp on the open area. And then I also grabbed these. This is a different piece. As you know, they're double-sided, and I like this pink. I felt like the pink went really well together. So I grabbed some of that. So we're going to work left to right. I'm going to do the front piece first. So this is going to be our very front piece, and I want my message to go here. So I want to use this paper in a way that I can cut it up and have a blank area to put my message and stamp it right on there. So I think I'm going to cut it this way. So all it needs to be is 3 inches by 4 inches. So you just want to manipulate your paper however you want. I want to have an open area to do my stamping. So I think I'm going to cut a little bit of this off and then cut it at 4 inches. I'm just manipulating my paper just a little bit so that I have this nice open area for stamping. So 3 inches by 4 inches is all you need, and it's going to layer on here really nicely. So that's going to be my outside, but I also want to put a piece of paper on the inside. So I'm going to use this pink for that, and let me see if they have this one cut. 3 by 4. So this is already cut. So same dimension, 3 inches by 4 inches, but I just wanted a different pattern, and it's going to go on the inside, and that'll make sense in just a moment. So now we need to create the panel that goes on this piece, and that is I'm going to see if I can use, this is the leftover from where we cut this, and we want that piece to be 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. So let's see, 5 1/4 and 2 3/4. So I'm kind of just looking at it to see which way I want it to show. So if you're trying to figure out your patterns, you can just kind of hold your cardstock and move it around and see what works the best. I kind of like having all this here, so I'm going to cut it here. So 2 3/4. So that's going to go on the front like that. All right, so we've got all of our pieces cut. So I'm going to move this trimmer out of the way, and now we can have some fun. All my extra pieces of paper. You know what I just decided? I think I also want to put a piece here. So I'm going to grab that paper trimmer one more time, and I'm going to cut one more piece at 2 3/4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to use that pink. I think it's going to pull the card together really well. You don't have to do the inside layers, but I'm going to try this out because I think it'll be pretty. So I'm going to set that aside. Okay, now we're done with the trimmer. And I'll go back over these as we assemble. So as you know, I cut a 3 by 4 piece for the front and a 3 by 4 piece for the inside of this, okay? So I'm going to set these two aside, and we're going to assemble our base. So our base is going to open like this. Let me put my white piece in there so you can see it. So it's going to layer like this. So I'm going to go ahead and get my adhesive. And I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to just put a couple of lines of strong adhesive right there on this flap, okay? Then we're going to grab our card base, and we want this to open to the right, and this is going to open to the left. I'm looking at it backwards, so hopefully I said that right. And we're going to just line up the edge in the middle as best we can, and then push it down. Okay, so you have this now. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so our smaller piece is over here. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do some stamping so I can attach this inside piece. And I've decided to use the greetings from the Something Fancy stamp set, and I have made the good you do come back to you, and thank you. So I think I'm going to do thank you right here on the inside. That makes a nice spot for a message for a thank you card. So hopefully I get this straight. Perfect. Love when that happens. Just going to dab this off. If you dab your stamps off before you clean them, they help your stamp pad get a little bit cleaner, and I happened to clean mine last night. I just rinsed it with water really well, and so I'm trying not to gunk it back up. While we have our Misty Moonlight ink out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp. This is my piece for the front. Remember, I left a little flower-free area to do some stamping. That's one of the things I love about this paper. So I'm going to ink that up, and put our greeting on. Straight, hopefully. Okay, perfecto. I'm on a roll today. I'm getting all my stamping straight. All right, I'm just gonna clean that off really quick. Close this up. All right, now we're gonna do some assembling. So now I'm gonna adhere this white piece right here in the middle, and it's gonna cover up this little flap here that we glued down. So I'm gonna flip that over. Got paper flying everywhere, and add my adhesive. This card is so simple, and it's very versatile. There's a lot of variations on this fold online. I'm hopefully going to do some more, but it's just super pretty. And you can play around with what you do. I mean, you can make, you know, tags for it. There's just so many things. All right, so for our inside, we have that. Then I'm also going to add this piece that we cut and this piece that we cut. I just like how it brings it all together. So I'm going to add my adhesive. This is just Stamp and Seal. I'm actually completely out of Stamp and Seal Plus. I'm waiting for it to come in. It should be in tomorrow. I don't usually run out. I've been making a lot of cards to sell for the holidays, and I used it. Got away from me. Thought I had more. It happens, right? Okay, there we go. So the inside's done, so now we're going to work on the outside. So I think I'm going to do this piece next. It's going to be layered on this front panel. And you could use dimensionals for this. You could add a second layer underneath. You could just make it slightly bigger. So instead of 3 by 4, you could make 3 1/8 by 4 1/8 and do a different color cardstock. So you could layer that on here if you'd like, or you can keep it simple like I'm doing. It's just as pretty. Look how pretty that is. Love it. So now we're going to put this piece on, and you just have to decide what looks best. So I could do it this way or this way. I'm kind of digging it this way, so I'm going to flip that over. This is probably the last video I'm going to create while I'm in Colorado. We leave in a couple of weeks. I know this won't come out for a few weeks. I've been trying to do my videos ahead of time because we have some traveling to do. We're going to be going to the Balloon Festival and in Albuquerque and meeting our son up for some solar eclipse viewing, and then heading to get some warranty work done, and then heading to Florida. So I was trying to get ahead because life may get in the way of me trying to get some videos done. So here's our card. It's perfectly pretty just the way it is. Plenty of room to write. You can even add a photo here. You could add some other sentiments. There's just so much you can do with it. I think we're going to add some bling. So I love these rhinestones. This is an ancient pack that I found. I'm trying to use it up because I have a brand new pack to use. But I'm just going to put a couple of these on. Love sparkly things on a card. All right, that looks good. I usually stick to 3. 3 always seems to work. Now, if we wanted to, we could add a ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and tie one and see what I think about it. I'm not very good at tying ribbons. If anybody has some tricks for me, please let me know. I just kind of keep adjusting until I'm happy with it. That looks pretty good. And we could put it here. That looks kind of nice. We could put it right underneath. But I think the way I did my rhinestones, I think I'm going to put it right here. That's pretty. So let me grab some glue dots. I just usually use a glue dot. This pack's almost empty. I'm going to be really excited. I've had 2 open packs for a while, so I'm going to be happy to be down to 1 open pack. Because I'm always trying to use up one box before I open another. I don't know what happened. All right, there we go. So here's our card. As you can see, super simple, just a few steps. You could totally crank these out. They'd make great cards for any occasion. You could make it feminine or masculine. This is a very feminine card, of course, so it says, "May the good you do come back to you." It opens up to say thank you. Plenty of room for a message, and you can even add some other things inside if you'd like. So pretty. And I wanted to show you, I practiced this card by creating some Christmas cards, so I wanted to show you some of the Christmas cards I created. I saw this online. I had to make it. This uses the One Horse Open Sleigh Designer Series paper, which happens to be scenes, and this actually has 3 panels for the front, and then the inside is the house, and the scene continues over here. So I like that continuity. I left this black and plain, and it says Merry Christmas. The front says, "May the peace of the season light your world, and may your new year be the brightest." I love these sayings. And then this is the same pack of paper, different card. So it's a lighter version on Cajun Craze. It's 'Tis the Season, and here's the little fox. And the rest of the scene is over here, and it says, "Hoping your Christmas shines bright with the love of family and friends." Again, it comes from that same stamp set. Love the sayings in it. And then here's another one. This one says Merry Christmas, and it has a different scene in it. "May the peace of the season light your world, and may your new year be the brightest." So same sayings there. And then the last one I love this color combo. It's so pretty. "Wishing you a season of hope and light." And I used some soft foam ribbon I had, and it says "Season's Greetings." And so as you can see, I mean, you can leave this blank or put something in it. I love the scene papers because that continuity in the scene is oh so pretty. So these are some Christmas cards, and then of course the card we made today. So you can have a lot of fun with this fold, and it only takes a few minutes to set these up. So it's a really fun go-to card, aptly named Joy Fold because it is a joy to make. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to doing more for you. If you'd like all of the measurements and instructions, please go to my website where my blog is. It's wanderingstamper.com. And then if you'd like to see these videos, I do post one every Wednesday. So just go ahead and subscribe to my channel. The link will be below. And give me a like if you love this card. I look forward to hearing what you think about these cards. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a moment to craft today.